will speak to you. I don't know if there's going to be time to, I hope there is, to just kind of go quickly into the chapel and take a look at that. But Joe will talk to you about really the essence of the whole agrarian system here in this area. Joe, I don't know, is there someone to introduce Joe? Is that me? Joe Gallegos is from the first families here. His families have been here since the first settlers, the first pioneers. He went off and got an engineering degree and probably could be making a lot of money. I don't know what made him come back, but he loves the land, he breathes it. He's wondering how long he has to stay here because he's got calves to take care of. So be patient if he runs by too quickly. And he's also one of our very progressive politicians. He's a county commissioner and a good friend of mine. Welcome, Joe Gallegos.
I'd save the applause. You might not like this. This is the Costilla County map. Okay, Costilla meaning rib, conejos meaning rabbit on the other side. So I think it's because of the shape of the counties, kind of remembers a rib cage. Somebody decided to make this. I don't know why they call Rabbit County, Pinellas County, but that's our theory around here. This is the southern part of Costilla County. Okay, and this is the Culebra watershed, and that's what you're right here. You're right over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it for you.
You're right here, San Luis, right at the top of that, looking this way at all this watershed here. Acequias are a community-based water system. You need the community to make these things work. There's approximately 243 small ranches in this little watershed right here, and this big watershed up here in the northern part in the grid system. And we'll talk about a long lot system versus grid system here real quick. This is going to be fast and furious, so probably won't make much sense, but you'll be visiting the ranch and kind of things will be put together there. They use a grid system up here. There's 55 farmers up there, so we have a high-density farming area in this little watershed with every one of those farmers having water rights, Acequia water rights. Acequia water rights are surface usually, or only probably surface water rights, no subsurface or no storage rights. You cannot store water. You see this thing here, this is a storage of water right. In wintertime they can store, or in times of off-season they can store water. That's a whole different system there. We depend on the water that comes off of the rain. That's all we have. So we protect our watershed as much as possible to make sure that we have a consistent flow of water, and we try to keep the watershed healthy, which has been a very major difficult part in maintaining this water system here. Acequias, like I said, are a community ditch system. You need your neighbor in order to get the water here. If my neighbors aren't friendly up above, water won't get down here, right? Sometimes I wonder why Colorado and the compacts don't play that rule once in a while. But anyway, you have to get along with your neighbor. It's a system that requires neighborly and tolerance. A lot of tolerance, because if you don't get along with your neighbor, you're going to have a lifetime of misery. So you make sure you get along with that person so that he can have a clean ditch, so he can deliver water to you at a timely and appropriate manner. A lot of conflict, right? We deal with community, we deal with conflict. We work with conflict resolution all the time. You can ask Eugene. This Acequia is one with a lot of conflict sometimes, but now they're soothing all that. Now they're in a real good productive state. Every Acequia has a cycle. It's a community. It's the first governing system in Colorado. I think the first tool that they used was a shovel. That was probably the tool that opened Colorado doors. So when you have this community going together and the school working, it works good as long as you have people working together and you get along with your neighbor. The minute you start fighting with your neighbor or somebody on the Acequia starts having issues with the deliverance, then you have conflict all the time, and you know what I'm talking about, Eugene. You have a lot of conflict. It takes one person to... But we do not like to use the court system. We know how it has failed us in the past. This is older than the court system that's trying to give us rights and regulate our water. We were here before that was even conceived. We had our own system. We had our own community system that if Eugene was taking water out of priority, or out of sequence, and I was the mordomo, I would ask him, and if he was belligerent about it, I'd go get another parciante, we'd go talk to him, maybe two, and we say, Gene, we gotta work together, we gotta make this thing happen. What do we need to do to satisfy your issue? Always try to do that first before we have the law get involved. It never seems to work when we get the law involved. There's always some kind of conflict that keeps on perpetuating itself. So as soon as now we have the Acequia Association, which is a 501c3 that was established to deal with issues like that. If an Acequia, and I think Eugene, one time your Acequia came to the Acequia Association to ask for a little help. One of the parciantes was disgruntled. Eugene's board came in front of us, explained the situation, we understood. We went back to that parciante, talked to him, let him know what was going on, and can we work this out somewhere else, some way other than having to litigate. So we try to rid that. And like I say, our system is older than the litigation system that they presented us with, so we like to try to keep it out of the courts. We do not think that they understand everything that we have to deal with in the Acequia system, because we were under a riparian system before we got into proper appropriation system. Very complex. It seems easy. It should be simple. It looks simple, but it's really complex once you start getting into all the legal aspects of it. We find ourselves in court all the time, whether it's because of mining or industrial logging or even roadage from the county, which I'm involved with, trying to mitigate all those issues that impact our watershed, our water quality, and we've had some really big battles with that. We're trying to keep us methods of marketing food products and ways of keeping us existing all the time, but it's getting more and more complicated and more difficult to keep the youth on the land. Youth is going to be our answer. We get the youth back to understanding community and trying to get off the internet sometimes. I have a daughter that's stuck on that too, so I have some ideas about that. We got to get them back in touch with the ground, and that's becoming very difficult. And but I can understand why they're doing that, because we never set them up in the proper way to make them get in connections. We have a lot of backpedaling we have to do to make them connect again. There's a revolution out there. It's a food revolution. It's obvious. No one needs to question that. We're part of that. We've always been part of this food revolution. We're small farmers, so we can't get into a big industrial capacity. We have only a certain amount of water, a certain amount of land. So we think small, but we think family. We think sustainability. We think recycling. We think next year. We think of the future generation. I'm on 5th generation. Somebody thought about me, 3rd generation. They thought about me being here. So that's how come I came back. I left the money. I came back to what made me comfortable, and I'm okay with it. And I think everyone's a farmer. Everyone here is a farmer. Just what kind of farmer, okay? So we can all do that. It's all of us. We came from the ground, we came from the land, and we're going to go back to the land. And that's just the way it is. So we can all, in this revolution that's happening, people are getting tired of being told what to eat out of a box or out of a nice, fresh, picked carrot. I mean, what are you going to take? Are we going to be in that trap, or do we have the right to choose what we want to eat and what we want to grow? So we have a lot of battles ahead of us. It's going to take a while, but we have to let people know, and we have to start now. We can't wait. We have the data. We know what's going on.